Hi, good morning everyone. Welcome back to my webinar. So today webinar will be the second last webinar, and next week will be the last webinar for this entire series of order to cash automation. With that being said, let me share my screen. All right. Okay, for today's webinar, I'll be sharing with you on the third step or on the continuation of the previous webinar, in which I'll be talking about how you can automate your invoicing process. As usual, after this webinar, we'll be sending you the slides, recording, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the question panel below. You are able to access the question panel from this tab below here. A little bit about our Symtrax. We have been helping our clients to fully digitalize the process, to automate their process, and how we do it by customizing tailor-made to your specific needs and processes. We've been doing this for over 35 years with more than 3,000 companies globally. So today I am talking to you from our latest Singapore office. And as you can see here, we will be able to cover from end to end, from Los Angeles all the way to Singapore. So let me start with you with the agenda. I'll be going through the recaps on the previous webinars, the current situation for invoicing that we observe and we hear from our clients, some food for thoughts, what it can be, case study on what we have done for our clients. Last but not least will be the demonstration and some Q&A. Throughout the webinar, if you have any questions, feel free to just type in. Me and my team will be answering your question periodically. So let's go through the recap. So previously on my previous webinar, we are talking about the shipping of your orders. When you have received your orders and you need to ship it out. So we are talking about how the GRN delivery notes, the ASN creation is still manual. You need to do it one by one for each orders. And if you were to export out your document and you need to add some information, some data inside, you'll need to do it manually, which takes a lot of times. Last but not least, some of the people are still using paper-based document. You'll print it, sign it, email it back. And I have shared with them on what it could have been. It could be automated, it could be digital and instant. So for today, I'll be continuing from what happened after you have shipped your orders, your client have received it and want to pay. I'll be talking about how you can create invoice and on the AR part, on the account receivable automation. So the current situation that which we observe or we heard from our clients is that when they receive the invoice or when they are sending out the invoice, they need to match between multiple documents. For example, you need to match between your PO, your invoice, your delivery notes. And sometimes they might forget to follow up because they will need to check the account one by one. For example, this customer hasn't paid, so you need to email him. Then the next customer who hasn't paid, you need to email him one by one. Last but not least, after everything has been done, you'll need to manually input the data, the document to your system. So just a very brief overview on how it looks like once you receive the invoice will be input to your ERP. Someone will manually handle the invoice, approve the document. Once the payment has been done, the data is again input to the system, your ERP system. So all this is still manual and takes a lot of time for you to do it. Some food for thoughts during this entire process is that how transparent is it between you and your clients? For example, if you want to follow up with them, you will need to send the documents, the relevant documents. And to do this, it takes a lot of time for you to do. And because it takes a lot of times, have you thought of what is the impact your day sales outstanding? Is it a lot longer now because of the payment has been delayed, or clients forget to pay, or maybe you yourself forget to remind them? And the resource that you need to take, or the resource that you need to spend on getting your money, have you ever thought of how much do you actually spend on getting money? With that being said, I would like to share with you on how expensive or how manual these processes are. First thing is, what we have found out is that 98% of the C-level executive shared that they are burdened with invoice dispute and payment issue. 40% shared that these manual processes is the biggest challenge to their payment collection. Last but not least is that discrepancy between the matching, the POs, the invoices, the GRN seems to be the root causes, seems to be the issue for their process. With that being said, I'd like to share a poll and I would like to understand from you better. Let me share the poll. Okay, so I'd like to understand what your concerns or challenges that you have right now, be it entering into the ERP, matching the document, or maybe you forget to follow up, or maybe some other examples or some other issues that you face. I'll give a few seconds for everyone to fill in. Hey, thank you for your participation. Let me close the poll now and continue sharing. Okay, so at the end of the day, all this time that you have spent doing manual, all these efforts and resources could have been used, could have been placed doing some other more critical, more value-added tasks. And which is why I would like to introduce to you what or how it can be automated. What if I told you that with the three-way matching in which you are eyeballing, it can be automated, where the system or any system will be able to extract the data out and will be able to match with what documents it should be matching with. For example, PO with the invoice with the GRN. And once you have processed the documents, the data inside your invoices or any documents can be extracted out automatically to your system. Last but not least is to go digital, where you have a better visibility, better transparency for your process. That being said, I would like to share with you one of our case studies in which we help our clients. In this case is Amianted Oman, in the automation of the invoices and the order to cash workflow. So for Amianted Oman, their invoices are created or generated from their ERP system, which is JD Edwards, and they will print it out. These delivery orders, which have been generated, will be shipped along with the items, and customers, once receive it, will sign it on paper and send it back to Amianted Oman. So this entire process is still manual, is still paper-based. So what they found out is that they take a lot of time to split between the invoices, delivery notes, the purchase orders. They need to do the matching, and the sales team spend more times on doing this because of this, and because of this, it is difficult for them to follow up, and it causes the payment to be slightly longer than expected. Sometimes they might have some errors in which the invoices are not delivered on time. So what we did for them, or how do we help them with the automation, is that similar to what I was sharing with you just now, we help them to do the three-way matching automatically, automated the scheduling of the email reminder. If the clients haven't paid, we are able to remind them. Last but not least is for them, they would like to get some periodic reporting. So this periodic reporting is automated. They don't need to manually create the report one by one. So at the end of every quarters, every month, they will receive a document, a reports of what has happened. With that being said, I would like to share with you a general or simplified versions on how we can automate your invoicing. Take note that for this particular demonstration, I will be using SAP as my ERP system. But as you can see from our case study, we are able to connect with any other ERP system, for example, JD Edwards, IBM, Sage. Let me get to the demo. So for this particular demo, I'll be uploading the documents or the file from our digital platforms. And what file will I be uploading? I'll be uploading this PO file that I have prepared here. So here we have these purchase orders in which I receive from the clients or I send to the clients. And what happened? I want to create a sales order out of it. And after I create the sales order out of it, I want to create the invoices and I want to create all the necessary documents immediately, automatically. And what I'll do is very simple. All I need to do is just to upload this document to the digital platform. Let me log in here. Okay, let me just drag and drop the document. So this is similar with what will happen if you were to automate your process. Everything will be happening in the backend. You and the team will not need to intervene too much. You don't need to interact too much with the system. The system will automatically process it, and all you need to do is just continue the process. For example, so the document is still being processed. In the meantime, I would like to share a pulse while we are waiting for the documents. Okay, so yeah, I would like to know from you whether as of right now, are you looking to automate any of your process, or whether maybe you have already automated your process? I'll wait a few more seconds. Okay, so thank you so much for your participation. Let me continue my sharing. So here you can see that the document or the PO has been processed. So what happened next? What happened next is I'll receive an email. Show you my email. Here I'll be able to see that the sales order has been created against the PO that I uploaded just now. And to check this sales order in my system, again, I'm using SAP in this case. Let me go to my SAP. So this is my SAP system. Let me log into my SAP system. Okay, so first thing I would like to check whether my sales order has been created as per what the email mentioned. So just the VA03 and I'll just paste the sales order document number to see. Okay, yep. Here I can see that the items material 100 to 100 items actuation has been created. Then what happened next? What happened next is I have also received some other documents that has been created based on the sales order. So I have a delivery note, a GRN that has been created against this sales order. And I want to check whether this this delivery note has been created. Same thing, I will go to my SAP and I will check whether my document has been created. I'll use VL02N in this example for the delivery note I'll paste the document number and I'll check. So here again, I can see that yes, items 100 to 100 actuation has been created as a delivery note as a GRN. And if I were to track the document flow, I'll be able to see that the transfer order has been created. This is the number. The good issue has been created as well. Last but not least is the invoice. The invoice has been created. So let me just write down the invoice number. So it should be 009 003 97606. Okay, let me copy paste this. And I'll check whether this invoice has been created in the system. Same thing, I'll go to another T code of PF03 for the invoice document. I'll paste the invoice number and I'll check. So here I can see that invoice has been created. Item is the same, 100 to 100 actuation. So you can see that all three documents, the delivery note, the invoice, the sales order has been created based on one purchase orders. So these three documents are automatically created. You don't need to manually create it yourself. And at the end of the day, if I go back to my email, I'll be able to see the merged documents between the purchase order, the delivery notes, and the invoice, which is this. So this is the purchase order, this is the order confirmation, this is the delivery notes. So at the end of the day, you can see that all these are created automatically, and we are able to integrate with your email system. So you are able to review, or you are able to send it out to your clients automatically if they haven't paid you yet. With that being said, let me go back to my presentation here. So what I've shown you just now is how we can do three-way matching, how we can create documents, like multiple documents from the same resources or from the same source. And we can also create an email reminder for your clients, for your team. When we are talking about RPA, when we are talking about technological adoption, digital transformations, according to Deloitte, there are 4 ways you can do it. The first one will be IT transformation, and there's BPMS, outsourcing, and RPA. For IT automation, in which you will have a higher process disruption with a low predictability, because you will need to revamp your entire infrastructure, your entire workflow, which is why it disrupts a lot of your processes. And if you go to BPMS, in which it is a business process management, similarly, your processes are disrupted and you can't predict how effective it is. But for us, Symtrax, we position ourselves, or we are closer to RPA. We have a lower process disruption. We will not change our processes. We will not affect any changes. But at the same time, we can ensure that our speed and predictability is there. So what I've been showing you just now for Symtrax, I realized that my slide is different. Okay. What I have shared with you just now, Symtrax is more on the RPA side. Symtrax is more on the automation, in which we don't disrupt the process, but things are a lot faster. That being said, I would like to go to the Q&A. Let me take a look at whether there's any questions. And if you have any questions, feel free to just ask in the chat box. Okay, so there are questions. I'll just answer maybe 2 of them due to time constraint. So first one will be on what automation, sorry, what ERP can we connect to? As mentioned, we are able to connect with any other ERP. And even if you don't have ERP, we are able to work out a workflow for you. We are able to monitor your email address, as what we have been doing for some of our clients who receive documents and data via email. We can also provide a digital platform in which what I've been doing just now during the demo. Clients can upload their document to these particular platforms. Okay, then the last question is, okay, so the question will be more on what types of data or documents we can receive. In terms of this, we can accept many other different file formats, file output. If you have PDF file, if you have XML file, even if you have a scanned document, we will be able to extract the data out and input it to your ERP system. So you don't need to worry about what file type that you receive. If it is a structured data or non-structured data, we are able to process it. Okay, I don't think there's any other question. So with that being said, thank you so much for your time and attention. My name is Kenny. If you have any questions after this webinar, if you'd like to connect with me in LinkedIn or reach out to me via phone call or email, feel free to do so. And as mentioned, the slide and the recording will be sent to you after the webinar. Thank you so much and have a nice day.